public defender is an attorney employed by the community and responsible for giving legal aid without cost to any person who seeks it and is financially unable to employ private counsel. It is his duty to defend those accused of crime until the issue is decided in a court of law. The first public defender's office in the United States was opened in January 1913. Over the years, other offices were opened. And today, that handful has grown to a network of lawyers cooperating to protect the rights of our client.
The case of Melody Scanlon and what really took place is quite a story. And believe it or not, it actually happened. I was in the booking office one night checking a hold on a defendant of mine when my attention was suddenly diverted.
You can't do this. You've got no right to arrest me.
I'm sorry, lady, but orders are orders, you know.
She'll never get away with this. She's got no right. I'll sue her.
What is this, Bob? What's she in for?
Seems to be a shill from the carnival, in on a grand theft charge.
A shill?
I'm no shill. I never took the ring. I never took anything.
Mrs. Carstairs preferred the charges. Claims she stole a very expensive ring.
Well, it's not true. Not a word of it. She's done this out of spite.
Oh, Bob, do you mind holding in the detention room for a while? I'd like to have a talk with her.
Bart, why do you stick your neck out? Why do you always think people are innocent?
I don't know. Maybe it's because we like to believe that people are innocent until they're proven guilty. How about it?
Well, all right. You'll probably get the case in the morning anyway.
Miss?
Melody Scanlon.
Would you mind coming with me, Melody, please? The story Melody told me had a strange, out-of-this-world quality. I'll tell it to you as I saw it, and as all the weird pieces finally fell into place.
Bubble, 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 my beautiful hot mess. Hold out your hand.
I can't.
Hold out your pretty little hand.
No.
Hold them out. Hold them out.
I told you I'm not going to let Kiki work that act, Duke, and I mean it.
But, Mom, it's a beautiful act.
And it's refined.
This stuff looks just like real lead, and it's not too hot to handle.
And I built a furnace that'll fool anybody, only it ain't hot.
Well, hot or cold, she's not going to work the act or any other if I have my way.
I was going to wear an angel's costume, and Grandpa was going to wear a devil's costume.
Will you get changed into your towner costume now? Mr. Carstairs will be here any minute.
Come on, pick it up. Kitten. That stuff costs $3.80 a pound. If your mother knew you was associating with a native, she'd flip in her grave.
Not this native. When Mom insisted I get a college education, she must have hoped for me like I hoped for Kiki.
Oh, honey, you'd never be happy waiting all of this. 10 generations of us have been in it. Your mother loved it.
Oh, Dad, Mommy only loved the carny because, well, you loved it. And that's what you wanted. Now get this furnace and this junk out of here. You've got the place smelling like a grease grab.
Well, I don't like him.
Well, I like him. And just because he's a businessman is no sign he's a bum, Dad.
Leave me tell you, no daughter of mine is going to marry up with a towner.
Am scray, Dad. I've got to get dressed. And you too, honey. Now hurry.
Towners, natives. First thing you know, there won't be no more carnies. Nothing but natives and towners around playing carnies. Sure, fine.
Come in, Mr. Carstairs.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Hello, Kiki. Oh, how's the girl?
Okay, I guess. Mom will be ready in a minute. Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you. Well, now tell me, do you like school?
Sure, the one in Sarasota.
Florida?
Yeah, we winter there.
Well, what subjects do you like best?
Tumbling and high wire.
Well, how about reading, writing, and arithmetic?
You have to take those.
I never liked those subjects very much myself.
Grandpa says you should learn them, though, to keep the natives from cheating you.
Natives? Well, what natives?
Well, us carnies live on the road. Natives live in towns and on farms.
Oh. Well, that makes me a native.
People can't help being what they are. It's not your fault.
Look, maybe you'll be a native one day, if things turn out the way I hope they will.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Well, what's that? A game?
Oh, just a game of Grandpa's. You try to guess which shell the pea's under.
That one.
You have to play this for money.
Oh, gambling.
Grandpa says it isn't gambling. It's a game of skill.
All right. I'll bet a penny this time.
Haven't got any pennies, but you can bet $1.
$1? Well, I warn you, young lady. If I win, I'm going to keep it. All right?
Sure.
Well, here goes your $1. That one. Well, shall we try again?
You sure I'm not doing it too fast?
No, that's all right.
Double or nothing.
All right.
Which one?
That one.
Want to try for 8?
You're not a very good businesswoman, young lady. You keep doubling up. I'm bound to win it all back.
Easy come, easy go, Grandpa says. For 8? You decide while I get a drink of water. For 8?
Okay.
Which one?
That one. Now, look here, Kiki. There's something fishy about this. I happen to know... That is, I fully realize that...
Know what, Mr. Carstairs? Want to try for 16?
I see you've been playing Grandpa's little game again. How nice. Darling, you know we never play this game for keeps. That wouldn't be right.
Say, how does she do that trick?
Trade secret. Good night, darling. I'll be back in time for the late show. Be a good girl.
Okay, Mom.
There was plenty of excitement at the carnival that night. All the usual noise, the music, the specialty acts. But Kiki had only one thing in her mind as she came into Milo Martin's office.
So I go for a drink and give this Mark a chance to peek.
He peeks?
Sure he peeks, and he goes for the 8. You should have seen his face, Grandpa, when I lifted up that empty shell.
You go for 16?
Wait till I tell you, Uncle Pete. Mom comes in and makes me give him back the 8.
She what?
We don't play this game for keeps, do we, darling? And she shoves my 8 skins back into the chump's pocket.
Well, she's flipped the lid. That's the only answer. She's a sick girl.
Well, what can we do?
We could tend to our own business for a change.
Grandpa, if you and Uncle Pete would take a walk, I have something to tell Milo. Personal.
Okay, Bunkin. Come on, Duke.
I'm coming.
Over here, kitten.
Remember last Christmas Eve, Milo? When you and Mom went to the dance at the hotel?
Yes, kitten, I remember.
She never did say what the fight was about, but she cried all night.
She did.
I heard her. Gee, Milo, if you and Mom would make up, maybe she wouldn't marry that native.
We didn't have a fight, kitten. I asked your mother to marry me. Well, she just couldn't see it.
Then why did she cry all night? You have to love someone to cry like she did.
I hope you're right, kitten. You know I do, don't you?
Gee, Milo, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
I wish I knew, honey. I sure wish I knew.
It's beautiful. Your mother must be a very generous woman.
It was my grandmother's. And my mother gave it to me. For my wife.
3 generations.
3 generations of beautiful women. And I have the most beautiful one of all.
Preston, when am I going to meet your mother?
Well, soon. Tomorrow, I imagine.
I thought you said she was in Europe.
Well, she was, but... Well, she came home early.
Oh. Have you told her?
Well, she only got in on the 5 o'clock plane. I've got to see her at 9 o'clock tonight. Good heavens, it's 8:45 already.
Oh, I've got to get back to my late show.
Oh, Melody, you don't mind if I send you back in a hotel limousine?
No, of course not.
I'll come over to the fairgrounds as soon as I've seen her. And told her.
I've got a good bit of telling to do myself.
Oh, waiter.
It belonged to his mother and his grandmother. And now it's mine. Well, can't you say anything?
Is it real?
Well, of course it's real. Now, don't you tell anybody where I hid it. And don't you touch it, hear me?
Yes, Mother.
Kiki, darling, Mr. Carstairs is a very fine man. You'll like him when you get to know him.
I'll never like him as much as Milo.
Milo's a fine man, too, Kiki. But I know what's best for both of us. And it's not the carny. Well, I've got to go to work now. I'll see you later.
Hi, kitten. Been waiting long?
Milo, she's engaged.
No. Are you sure?
She told me. Look at this.
What's the idea of the tweezers?
She told me not to touch it.
Then I won't touch it either.
It's phony, isn't it? A piece of slum. Grandpa always said to bite every dollar and to check every diamond with acid.
This didn't come off any slum spindle, kitten. This is the real McCoy.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, me too.
Gee, Milo, don't you know some gimmick or gaff? Something we could do?
There's one thing you can't gimmick, kitten. Somebody's heart. You better put this back. Melody finished her turn about 10 minutes ago. I was out front. He was out front, too.
Okay, Milo.
In other words, it wasn't your ring to give.
Look, Mother said it would be mine. I'll get you another one in the morning. A bigger one. As soon as the store's open.
I don't want a bigger one. Who does your mother think she is, low-rating someone she's never even seen or talked to?
Look, Melody, you've got to know Mother to understand her. It'll be all right once she meets you and gets to know you.
Why didn't you bring her with you?
Well, she was tired after the trip. Please try to understand.
I understand, all right. I'll get you the ring. Preston, I can't give you the ring tonight.
What?
It's gone. It's not there.
What do you mean it's been stolen?
No, not stolen. I think somebody's trying to gimmick the engagement.
But who?
I don't know, but I'll soon find out. Kiki, where have you been?
At Milo's. Good night, Mom.
Kiki, didn't I tell you not to touch the ring?
I didn't.
Are you sure?
I didn't touch it.
Well, did you tell Grandpa or Milo or Pete or anyone where I hid it?
No, I didn't.
I'll have to have time to get to the bottom of this. But you can tell your mother she'll get her ring back.
Getting her to believe it's another matter. You don't know my mother.
Then maybe she'll believe me.
Going out?
I'm going to Mr. Carstairs' home. I won't be long. Bye, dear.
Mother, this is...
Yes?
Melody Scanlon.
Sit down, Miss Scanlon.
Thank you.
Preston, I'd like to talk to Miss Scanlon alone.
Now, look, Mother...
Please, Preston, it's getting late and I'm very tired.
Why don't you wait in the other room, dear?
What I am about to say is very difficult. I think you and my son are making a mistake, Miss Scanlon.
Maybe there won't be a mistake.
We Carstairs have lived here in Oakhurst for 5 generations. Preston has many friends here. They will never accept you. He will always be Preston Carstairs. You will always be the girl who danced in a carnival.
And what's so wrong with a carnival or carnival people, Mrs. Carstairs? Do you know anything about them? Have you ever met any?
Not socially.
Well, let me tell you something. My family has been in show business for 10 generations, and they were as nice and as fine and as decent as any of those natives on those one sheets.
I don't doubt it, my dear. I'm only trying to explain that we come from 2 different worlds. To condone this marriage would be cruel. Why do you think my son wants to marry you?
He says he loves me. Or is that too simple?
Men sometimes mistake pity for love.
Pity? Do I look like a woman men feel sorry for?
No, Miss Scanlon, you do not. Now, give me my ring. There's no point in discussing this situation any further.
I'll return your ring as soon as I can get it back.
Back? From whom?
I don't know who has it.
Oh, I thought you'd say something of the kind. Do you know how much that ring is worth?
No, but
$15,000 would be a fair estimate.
$15,000?
Do you intend to go through with the marriage? Or is the ring all you want?
I can see now why your son has never married. Your apron strings are too long, Mrs. Carstairs. I don't think I'd care to marry your son.
Then give me back my ring now.
Listen, I told you
I have tried to reason with you. Either you will give me my ring, or tell me where I can get it tonight, or I'll let the law take its course.
I haven't broken the law.
I think you have.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, yes, I would. Operator, get me the chief of police, please. Hello? Winfield? Alice Carstairs. I want you to come to my house and pick up a woman. She's a thief.
What makes you so sure she eloped?
She hasn't come home, and the last thing she said was she was going to his house.
Gee, maybe she did elope.
She wouldn't elope without me. I mean, would she, Milo?
I don't know, kitten, but she'll come back for you.
Yeah. After the honeymoon.
Who asked you?
I'll have Madame Lucerno come over and stay with you, kitten, till your mother gets back.
I don't need anybody. I want to be by myself.
Oh, but Pumpkin.
Let her alone, Duke.
Hey, we're gonna do something. What'll we do?
Yeah. What'll we do?
I'm looking for Milo Martin.
That's me, mister. What's your pitch?
Your star performer ran afoul of the fuzz.
Are you with it?
No, I'm the public defender. I'd like to get Melody Scanlon out of jail.
Out of jail?
I told you she didn't elope.
Did she shoot him?
How much is her bail?
She doesn't want to accept bail. She thinks that someone here tried to gaff her.
But how?
Something about a missing engagement ring.
It's not missing. It's right where she put it.
Where?
She told me not to tell.
Would you recognize her handwriting?
Yeah, I would. One of you nosy Parkers give Mr. Matthews my ring, Melody.
Where does she get that nosy Parker stuff?
Yeah.
I'll get it.
But she said when she looked for it, it was gone.
I dig it, but it's not a gaff.
What happened?
Yeah, what?
But why the tweezers?
It's not a very long story, Mr. Defender. Go ahead, kitten, tell him.
Well, I didn't know she missed it. All she said was, did I touch it?
Pumpkin.
When the ring was returned to Mrs. Carstairs, the district attorney promptly moved for dismissal of the charges against Melody. There was quite a celebration when she returned to the fold that night.
Oh, it's a great act, Pete. And then I take the ladle of hot boiling lead and I pour it into the little mitts, see?
Yeah, go on, go on.
Oh, it's a great act.
Ah, I told you not to touch him or that chicken.
But I'm not touching it. I'm using a fork.
Like you didn't touch the ring.
Right. I wish you'd straighten her out on that little matter, Mr. Matthews.
Well, the law says that anyone who is an accessory to the act is just as guilty as the one who commits it.
Do you dig that, honey?
No.
Well, let me try it this way. Don't gimmick the truth with words. Now, the grift is strictly for the marks, but when you try to sucker someone who you love, you're just a nosy Parker.
Oh, now it lights up. You mean it's not kosher to gaff your own mother?
Put her there.
Will you always remember that, darling?
I will if I can have another piece of chicken.
Pass her the gum. Go on. Help yourself, Pumpkin.
Melody and Milo were married a couple of weeks later, right on the midway. Everyone had a wonderful time, including myself. The case you have just seen was brought to a fair and just conclusion through the efforts of a public defender. Tonight, Philip Morris salutes Public Defender Louis E. Lohman, Hennepin County, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and his staff for outstanding achievement in the cause of justice.